So welcome back to The Patient Coach. So in this short video, myself and Sophie are going to talk you through 5 very simple seated exercises. Anybody can do them at home. They are effective and they are a really good place to start if you have no concept or understanding or interest in resistance training but would like to know, this is where you should start. So we go with the first one?
Yeah, great. So the first one we'll do is called a sit to stand. It's very good for training the muscles in your legs. And obviously we all stand up and sit down out of chairs every day, so it's a really good functional activity to do. So there's lots of different ways you can make it easier and make it harder. So we'll start with the easiest form. So you can put your hands on the arms of your chair, which will help you a little bit with balance and might also take a little bit of the weight off your legs. If you'd like, you can move your feet slightly towards the chair to make it a bit easier. And then the first movement we're just going to do is just standing up a couple of inches and then sitting back down. So this is the easiest version. So we're just going to stand up a small bit and then sit back down.
And we'll do that again just to demonstrate.
Yeah, so in another video we'll go through sort of how many of those to do, but as a general guideline, 10 of those with a short break and 3 times would be great.
Perfect. So we go to the full sit to stand now.
Yeah, so the next step would be to stand up fully from the chair. So you can keep your arms on the chair and just stand up fully, stand up nice and straight, and then if you'd like you can feel for the arms of the chair and then sit back down. And then you'd repeat that a few times, making sure to stand up nice and straight at the top of each one. And it's really important for the technique in this exercise to both stand up nice and slowly, but especially sit down really slowly and really resist the urge to sort of collapse down into the chair, because if you manage to go nice and slowly, that'll be the most effective way to train the muscles in your legs. And the last version of this sit to stand, as Jennifer is doing now, would be to cross your arms, so you're putting a little bit of extra weight onto your legs because you're not using the armrest anymore. So you can lean a little bit forwards to help, and then you're just going to stand up nice and straight and sit down nice and slowly.
And I suppose the only thing to say about this is you should be comfortable with this version before you would move on to not using the armrest.
Yeah, I would always start with the easiest version, making sure that you can do say 10 of those 3 times before then progressing to the next version, just to make sure it's safe and also to make sure that you're effectively training the muscles in your legs.
Perfect. Yeah. So the next one we'll do maybe the hip march.
Yeah, so the next exercise we'll cover is called a seated hip march. It's another great exercise for training the muscles at the top and the front of your legs, known as the quads, and also the muscles in around your hips at the front, known as the hip flexors. So what we can do is you can either have your hands on the armrest for maybe a little bit of extra support, or you can have your hands on your legs, and we're just going to slowly lift up one leg at a time. And then as we bring one leg down to the floor, we just lift the other foot up then.
Perfect. And again, just emphasising, moving quite slowly probably gives you the best resistance on the muscles.
Yeah, exactly. So as opposed to the faster seated hip march we might do as a warm-up, the aim of this one would be to do it nice and slowly, so that it feels maybe a little bit more difficult on the leg muscles, so that we're getting the best out of the exercise.
And now we might do the heel raise.
Yeah, so the heel raise, it's an easy progression from this one. So you're just going to lift up your heel off the floor and then bring it back down, and then the other one and back down. And if you like, you could do both at the same time, or it might be a little bit easier to start with doing one at a time so that you fully get to concentrate on each leg. So a good guideline would be maybe about 10 on each leg, taking a break for about a minute and then doing that 2 more times, so 3 times total. And again, making sure you're going nice and slowly on the way up and also slowly on the way down, so that you're getting the best result out of the exercise. If this exercise is too easy for you, and similarly with the hip march, you could place a small weight on top of your legs, so something that you can hold on top of your leg just to make it a little bit more difficult to lift up your leg.
Brilliant. And then the last one I wanted to do in this video is the knee extension.
Yeah, so the knee extension is another great exercise for strengthening your leg muscles. So what we're going to do is you can sit down in your chair if you like. You can put your hands on the armrest for a little bit of extra support, or you can just leave your hands on your legs. We're going to do one knee at a time, and we're going to go nice and slowly. So we'll start with the right knee, and we're just going to slowly straighten out the knee as much as you can, and then we're going to slowly lower it back down. And we're going to repeat that about 10 times. So we're just going to do 10 on one leg and then 10 on the other leg, as opposed to every second leg.
And for this one, Sophie, if you wanted, could you add an ankle weight as you begin to progress through?
Yeah, so say if 10 on each leg by 3 sets is too easy for you, it would be a great progression to add an ankle weight. So add something small, like maybe half a kilo, and then if that's too easy, something like a kilo would be very good. So you're still doing the same exercise, but you want to make sure that it still stays relatively challenging so that you're still building up the strength in your legs.
Brilliant. Alright, okay, I think that's enough for just the first kind of the introduction, the basics to resistance training.
Great.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.